Good to have you around. Just a little bit of a coffee stream this morning. I've already got a lot done. Um, but as far as tinkering with the actual, whatchamacallit tonight, is that sounds of Ibiza? No, I don't want to sound like Ibiza right now. Give me some, give me some chill wave. Chill wave. Let's see if any bangers go on. Let's see here. Then I'll get to your chats. Hold on. That's right. We are cruising on a beachway. Actually, we're cruising on an actual boardwalk right now. We're on a beach. We're all on beach cruiser bikes, one speed because there's no hills. It's just flat. So we only need one gear. That's it. That's what I'm feeling like. It's 82 degrees, light breeze off the water, and I'm feeling good. It's Cinco de Taco Day. Good morning, Moira. Good morning, Two Dogs. Good morning, JT. Good morning, Nikki. Good morning, Freebie. Hello, everybody. Just rolling. King is here. What's going on, Santino? It is a rainy one. That's why I'm trying to put myself on a nice, sunny, breezy beach. Absalom, good to see you. What's up, Rusty? No notification? You know, speaking of notifications, if you are a Patreon supporter of this show, make sure that your notifications are on. I look at the difference between Patreon posts and Subscribe Star posts. Subscribe Star posts are just alive. People are liking them, commenting, going back and forth with whatever behind the scenes stuff that I'm putting up all throughout the day. And Patreon, I have a sneaking suspicion that many people just are not told anything. YouTube, on the other hand, I don't know. This is still the most stable platform to go live on with video. Was doing that with Instagram for a little bit there, but too few people were showing up, and I'd rather have another device open so we can look at headlines together. Tonight's going to be a little bit more of a news from the weekend kind of a night. I got a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of people were doing Donald Trump first 100 days, and I don't know, there's something, I want to see what you guys think about first 100 days. That's number one. The status of the Ukraine war. This executive order about militarizing police a little bit more with like military surplus and stuff. I wonder how you guys read into that. That's number one. Because there's a couple different places you can go with that one. Trump as Pope. To look at all these filthy leftists over the weekend trying to invite conservatives or Catholics or whatever the hell it was, trying to act appalled so that they can have some sort of a political bonding moment with people that they absolutely dedicate their lives to hating on any other day. So I got some things to say about that, because tomorrow night we're going to have Leo Zagami on the show to talk about the conclave that starts on Wednesday. Wednesday night we got BX Investigates on the show to talk about, to follow up on all of what she has been involved with in uncovering SRA groups on the internet. By the way, Keto Brainz, my friends. Ain't nothing like it. And let me show you something. Ain't nothing like it. You can just have it that way. So, Pope Trump, what do you think? Oh, the long spoon is the best. The long spoon is the best. get it. This is my favorite part. I'm going to do a little bit more whisking today, so I get a little bit of a frappe top going there. Sweet. Now I'm adding a little bit more coffee to top it off, and I'll drop a couple of coffee ice cubes in there. It's all Quite Frankly coffee, too. I can't wait to talk about the Quite Frankly event. That's getting on the schedule. Nice. And now I'm going to be ready to, in about 40 minutes from now, I'm going to be ready to pick the house up. I'm just going to pick the whole house up. All right. So, thoughts. Let me get into the chat. That Quite Frankly coffee is some of the best I've ever tasted. I'm happy. I'm doing my morning workout while listening. Nice. I will be doing that a little bit later on. Today's Monday, so I'm going to do a deck of cards. For those of you who don't know what a deck of cards is, if you don't know what a deck of cards is, you should try it. You should work it in every once in a while, especially once a week. You just take the deck of cards, you shuffle it up real good, and you assign a workout to each suit. And then you just start throwing out cards at random, and then you just do reps based on the face value of the card, and it's perfect. It's perfect. King, yes, you need to wear bring the Speedo. There's probably going to be a lot of broads there looking to hook up. So... So there's that. For the broads. Bring back the word broads. We need to. It's just very cozy. Done and done, Frankie. Frankie! Hey, you all, what did I miss? Nothing, Rosie. We're just getting started. I just spiked my coffee with some Keto Brainz, which, by the way, if you want to try some, get in touch with me. Get in touch with me, especially if you're a monthly sponsor. I'll prioritize you, get you right quick. And Carl King, can I have a shout out? Yes, you can have two. Carl King. All right, let's see here. Yes, Cacao. Nice shirt. Well, thank you, Justin. I love this shirt. This is the shirt I first held Aurora in. So... let's see here. What do you guys think about Trump and Alcatraz? What do you guys think about Trump and Alcatraz? Would you put the money into reopening Alcatraz? Let me know what you think about that. Spam 1 in the chat room for yes, new, 2 for no. The Houthis apparently strike the busiest airport in Israel. I guess they have predicate to go to war with everybody now. So that's going to continue on. What do you think about the Ukraine war still pressing on? I saw a headline today. Reopen. I like Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage and The Rock better than Trump's plan. I was thinking about, the first thing I thought about was The Rock. What do you think about the Ukraine war? I saw more military equipment approved and shipped off today. What do you think about that? I don't think too highly of it. At all. At all. So we always knew there was going to be a mixed bag. But there's certain things I hate more than most. Oh. Yes. Nothing more for Ukraine. I wish nothing more for Ukraine months and months ago. I want to see picture videos of all the equipment being used. Yeah. I want better accounting. Get NATO off Putin's back and end it already. Equipment is only subject to going somewhere else and supplying enemies. Yeah, directly. That's not even like a oops, oops. Our enemies have our weapons. How many times over the years have we found out that we're sending checks directly to, training people directly? They say, oh, they weren't enemies at the time. They became enemies later. Oh, okay. Get out of NATO. I'm with Radar NJ. Is that Ray from NJ? Haven't seen you in a while. What's going on, Laura? Zelensky will send wave after wave of his own men for wave after wave of his own men. How many men does he have? That's the whole point here. How many men does he have before there needs to be some kind of a triggering of NATO nations to go in there and fight with their own men? There's going to have to be a triggering at some point. You can't just be stalemate. You can't stalemate this. Then again, it's gonna. What is it? It's 3 years now. Zelensky's troops are what? 60-year-old men. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. You guys keep. I'm gonna keep checking in on you. Trump calls for big cuts to the ATF budget. Yeah, I have a big cut for you. Eliminate. Congress is. It's just. It's Congress, guys. It's Congress. Congress is going to screw this all up and already has in many ways. I was looking at the $183 billion that was getting cut from the $2+ trillion spending budget or whatever that is now normalized, north of 2 trillion, and it actually looks like a lot of it is just getting moved around. And somebody out there, the people would say, no, you think about it, $183 billion is actually over $1 trillion over the course of 10 years. And what are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's not all on Trump. It never was going to be all on Trump. One guy to write executive orders to departments throughout the executive branch that should not exist because you don't have any congressional motivation to do something that is traditionally American. That's it. So it's almost like you have to keep the executive branch intact when the executive branch is what really needs to be dismantled the most, because every once in a while when you have a president who is motivated to do something that's good for the country, they can't rely on Congress. They have to do things through the branch that actually needs to be eliminated because Congress is a non-factor. It's a fucked up cycle. The Pirates fan who fell onto the field is improving. Did you guys see this? This guy, man who fell from the top of a 20-foot high wall. It was a right field wall out there at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. He's awake now. He wasn't awake when he fell. Let's see here. Caven Markwood, 20-year-old who slipped off a railing and onto the field during the seventh inning of Pittsburgh's 4-3 win over the Cubs. I just can't believe that the Pirates won. According to Phillips, an organizer of the GoFundMe account for him, this guy Markwood has made significant progress since being admitted to the trauma center at Allegheny General Hospital on Wednesday in critical condition. After everything he's been through since the accident, his progress feels nothing sort of miraculous. Well, what happened? I want to see what happened. I saw the video. It wasn't like he was reaching for a foul ball or anything, but he just flips and tumbles over the edge. One fan told the team that Markwood appeared intoxicated. Others said that he did not do any anything of note until the moment he stood up to celebrate a hit by Andrew McCutcheon, at which time he leapt out of his seat toward the 36-inch railing in front of him before flipping over. What? See, there's nothing but footage of this from the distance. Somebody, I don't leap forward. Well, he was up there because there's seats up there. There's seats. But Andrew McCutcheon has a base hit and you leap forward? What about just standing up? I gotta find it. Hold on. Maybe it's on YouTube. I'm telling you, the video that I saw it's only from a distance. Pittsburgh Pirates fan falls. Okay, hold on. Warning, distressing content. Look at the wall. Flip it, flip. Tumbling end over end. Look, right up there. Flip, flip, flip. Hold on, we'll do it again. Flip, end over end, one more time. I mean, I can't believe. Flip, like, what the hell? No way. He looks like he was. It almost looks like the seat had one of those springs on it. The seat looks like one of those cartoon. It's like a cartoon where you sit on a seat and there's a gigantic spring underneath it and it just launches you. He looked like he was punted in football. It was end over end. I don't know, but I mean, he could have very easily died if he landed directly on his neck, so it must have been something else there. What are you going to do? Ejection seat, seriously. Seriously, man. That cigar stream on Saturday afternoon was nice. Saturday afternoon was nice. Thank you guys for that. I'm going to do a little bit more of those like super chat goals in here's something we can do together, because tonight it's going to be a little bit more of a current events and just taking calls and seeing what you guys is going on. But if you have any ideas for those little YouTube super chat goals, as far as what celebratory things we could do that'll be easy, that like for example on Saturday we did the stream together, the cigar stream. Any ideas like that, let me know. That'd be fun. Put shoe on head. Put a shoe on head if we hit 10 $5 super chats. Something like that. That's easy to fulfill. I'll never say no to a cigar stream. Got to do a cigar stream with King one day. Santino comes down next time. We'll kick back. Another father-daughter show. Yeah. I want to make sure that those. I can always promise a father-daughter show. I just can't tell you when it is. Because when Aurora and I did that show 2 weeks ago, it was just dad and daughter day because mom went to a baby shower. So I said, hey, do you want to go to the studio with me? And we just cleaned up. And I said, we're in a broadcast studio that I built. How about we just sit down and do a show? And I asked her. It was kind of like on the fly. If she would have said, nah, I wouldn't have forced her. So I can't schedule that. She's a 4-year-old. But I can promise that it'll happen again one day. Bring on Pyretta for a show. Oh, Pyretta. Sure. Pyretta's. She's an older lady now. Dignified. A dignified older lady. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see what people say here. Love Dad and Daughter Day. Thank you. Wait until we do some more stuff on the drums. That's the next thing. Jucifer, gonna listen while I plug a brand new tire with a damn screw. Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, I just got a new cluster in today. Got to bring it in for a little project I'm working on, talking about automotive. Well, that'll be nice. I have to get to the studio early tonight. I have to get to the studio early tonight because I have to meet Derek, my bassist, set the charge. I have to meet him for a recording session. So tonight is going to be good because we're finally putting some new music together. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. It's got a good feel, and I got the track down pretty good. It'll be easy on my part. It's not too. It's a lot more of a groovy. See, that's what I'm. There you go. Tonight, get to the studio, lock in, put a couple of takes down around for 20 minutes before the show starts. You guys will like it. You guys will like it. I can't wait. I can't wait to show it to you. I want to show you the demos and stuff, but you know, just so rare that we're putting new music together today that I'm just it'll be a good one. This will be a chill one. This song right here, The Deep End, this will be a good one to pack a hookah to. Just sit back and blow smoke rings and look at the stars. But here's what I would do. I'm going to start doing things where I have to clean up the audio. The reason why I haven't been doing some drum streams for you guys, where it's you, me, I'll get off from the Studio A at 9 o'clock, and then I'll go into the music room, and then I'll stream from there. Just me playing along with some tracks on my Apple Music or something like that. The hell is he talking about? I just got texted from my my neighbor to move my vehicle, but there's no vehicle to move. Anyway, there's a lot of buzzing. There's a lot of buzzing in the whatchamacallit, the audio on the drums. I did a couple of streams on D Live just to test the audio of the drums and all that stuff, and there's too much buzzing and feedback. I don't know what the hell it is. It might just be that the module on my my V drums is just old. I did buy it in 2005. It's a TD20. It's lasted. It's just been great, but I think it's time for an update. It's gonna cost me at least $1,800 though to get a new brain. You know, of all the brains you can buy, that's one of the cheaper ones you can get. So I just want to make sure that that is some really good audio for you guys before I start doing those streams after the show a little bit more. That would be a great way to celebrate any kind of a super chat goal. I'm gonna go into the other room and jam on the drums for 20 minutes. Was the major award in the Christmas Story intended to be a lampoon? I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't get it. It's not in the way. It's not. I don't know how they're talking about. How are the studio monitors? Thanks for asking, Nikki. Jim Lee and I, over the weekend, we're doing a lot of work remotely. And I think it's the television monitor inside the studio. Which I don't understand this. I have to go in there tonight before I turn anything on. I have to unplug the HDMI cord for the television just to make sure that it doesn't start screwing shit up. I don't get it. Because I've had this set up in place for over a year and a half now, and everything's been fine. So what we got it down to is I'm going to try to get that done I'm going to try to get that disconnected. Hopefully, all of the throbbing stops, and then I got to figure out how from my computer I can cast it. I can cast. Um, I can duplicate a screen and cast it to the television so that there's some sort of a studio monitor there for when I have guests in there. I don't know. I don't know why this shit happens. Stuff like this it happens with me too with our sound bar that we have in here. We have a sound bar over here just in the living room, and from the time we got it, it it's changed so many times. I mean, the way it functions changed. I'll either set it up right through that optic cord, goes right into the television, so it's either directly linked to the television, and then it stopped reading that. So I started going to Bluetooth. That worked for a while. It stopped reading that. It, I don't know, man. Yeah, technology is nuts right now. Usually, back a couple of decades ago, you take something out of the box and you hook it up. It only has one function, one way of working, and it would stop working if it was physically damaged, if a battery ran out, or if a cord was cut. At which time, you just go out there, you get a new one, or you replace the part. Now, these things have a life of their damn own. Everything you buy has a life of its own. It changes all the settings on its own. Sounds like your networking card is fritzing. Yeah, well, it'll get worked out. Let's see here. I can't even kickstart anything these days. Oh, the when you can actually there was something more satisfying to being able to physically assault something and actually have that be a legitimate way of getting a, a malfunctioning piece of equipment to work. Like even things like NES, the old school cartridge video game systems and stuff like that. Obviously, blowing through the cartridges, that was a real thing because dust and whatever. But hitting a VCR, really worked, and it made you feel good too. You know, so I really I appreciate that time back in the day a lot more now because you can't hit anything and it doesn't hitting any things just don't work anymore. That's right, Earl's daughter. Bring the wipes. What's going on, Star? Good to see you. Carl King, I shouted you out twice. Here's your third one. Definitely did make you feel better, yeah. Try rolling back the video drivers. Yeah, Shane, we did all that stuff with Jim. Everything was all right. I think it's just a physical connection. So, starting a lawnmower has always been so satisfying once it worked on the fifth try. Yes, because once it worked, once you start that lawnmower or your snowblower or something else like that, once you get that thing primed, then it starts on the first try. Then you just feel like a magician. You know? You have to. You have to punch walls, you have to punch pillows, all that stuff. You can't hit your electronics anymore. They're too they're too fragile. So, I mean, there's another thing there too with for example, all of our communication devices. It was a really big learning curve when we were getting away from these phones that were so sturdy, man, and beepers that you can throw across the phone. We used to have beeper races. We'd be in gym class or something like that, and you put your beeper on the. It's not really like a race, but we would just slide them We'd see which beeper was more aerodynamic and slid better across the basketball court, and we would just slide them and see who can get farther with the beeper. You could literally just throw your beepers around, and then the first iPhones came out. It took me a while to get to iPhone. I was on BlackBerry for a while, but when I first held an iPhone out of a, especially when you hold an iPhone out of a case, I say this thing is a slippery piece of soapy glass. iPhones are slippery pieces of soapy glass, and they shatter so quickly. That was such a step back from the functionality and the durability that we had been building up until like 2004. It's nuts. It's nuts. All right. Before I go, anything that you guys saw from over the weekend that you want me to include in tonight's show? Obviously, we're going to open up the lines so you can just call in and say whatever. Also, please go in the description of this episode. There is the link to the Quite Frankly voicemail. So if there is a open lines kind of a thought or any kind of a thought from over the weekend that had concerned a story or a follow up to any kind of subject that we covered last week or whatever, leave a voicemail. So Trump as Pope, yeah, no, I have some thoughts on Trump as Pope. I have a lot of thoughts on that, just because I can't stand the people who are trying to make this into a thing when they are so wholeheartedly dedicated to hating Christianity in any form, in any representation, any other day of the week, that they gasped because Trump, who is not a Catholic, wore an AI Pope costume. Please, please. I can tolerate that a lot more than I can tolerate Francis's pontificate. But anyway, Trump opening the rock. Okay. So I guess that could be part of 100 days. First 100 days. I'll ask you guys what you guys think. The good, the bad, the ugly. Because that's in there. Opening up Alcatraz, what's going on with Ukraine. What do you think about the Pope thing, which is more fun than anything because we'll be talking about like the inner working stuff tomorrow with Leo Zagami. What else? I don't know. It should be good. It's a Monday night, and I just want to take your calls. Let's see. When's the next Jason Burmis night? I'll ask him. I'll get him on the schedule again. I might be able to do something with him this week. Maybe I can bring him on Friday night. I don't have a guest. No. I'm sorry. Friday night is Jay Gulanello, Molly from Keto Brainz is coming on for a little bit. Again, thank you, Keto Brainz. Use promo code Frankly for your first bag. And if you want to try some samples, just get in touch with me. Again, if you're a sponsor of the show, you're gonna get priority. But at the end of, I set aside my own money every month to send out samples. And at the end of the month, if I have any money left over, I'll pay for them to come out to you because I really know you're gonna love it. Especially if you're cleaning up your diet, if you're doing restricted eating and all that stuff, you're messing around with intermittent fasting and you're just cleaning yourself up and you're getting yourself ready to detach yourself from as many parts of the system, including the healthcare system, as possible. This is certainly something you should have in the mix. No doubt. And I'd love to get some samples out to you guys. But what was the other thing I was going to say? I think we said it all. Call in. Jason Burmis. I got to get him on the schedule. What else? What kind of salt do you use? Redmond's. I was using the Celtic sea salt, the what was it? I forget, like the gray bag. I don't know what the hell it was. I was using the Celtic sea salt, and then it started showing up on some of those heavy metal tests. Every once in a while, I check in with Jay to see what he's eating at the time, and he said, honestly, I've been using Redmond's. It has a pretty good report card. So the methylene blue craze, I don't know. Shit. Went down the wrong pipe. Cooking hour with Jay would be great. I want to talk about the methylene blue stuff because I see people who love it and other people who say no. Again, cultivate, elevate. Cultivate, elevate. That was another thing he could have went into. When Matt from Cultivate Elevate was on recently, and he was just, he was saying, stay away from all pharmaceuticals, including ivermectin and whatever. Methylene blue was another thing that he has dished on lately, saying, hey, this is a chemical product from some of the same manufacturers that we all should be wary of. And I say, okay, noted, but I don't know enough about it. I have friends who totally say, hey, it's this needs to be looked into. There's a lot of great stuff going on here. But it was the first antibiotic before penicillin, methylene blue, says NY Debs. Okay? See, I don't know. This is why I defer to guests on some subjects. But I'll defer to you guys tonight as we'll open up the lines. I'm gonna have questions about some executive orders, about first 100 days, what you like, what you didn't like. I think it'll be a good one for tonight. And I think we should have a good time. This week is going to be a good one. And I appreciate you guys. I'm seeing a lot of interesting, first to combat malaria. Frank, you sound like half the callers lately who clear their throats on air. I know when callers call in, please clear your throats before you call in. Clear your throats. Mute the stream. And expect to get on. I love the people who call in and go, oh, I didn't expect to get on. What are we talking about again? Oh, no. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Alrighty. Well, enjoy your coffee. I'll talk to you guys soon. And I'll see you guys tonight. Be well. Thank you all so much.